Peace, love, greetings, shalom, in the name of Yahweh, in the name and authority of Yahshua Messiah, and under the direction of the Holy Spirit. Okay. Today, I have a beautiful, beautiful message for everyone in the collective that is benefiting, learning, or growing from the message that actually comes from this particular curriculum that I'm trying to express, that actually I am a conduit for my ancestors that will help the collective heal and grow more, so that you are able to ascend into the next new kingdom timeline that we are on the brink of transitioning into. Now, just because I might use the word brink doesn't mean in your mind you should perceive that it may be next week, next month, or even next year, because I don't know the time, but I do know the timeline that we are moving through, which says this is going to happen in the future. When, I don't know, but that's what these messages are preparing you for, okay? All right. Now, what I'm gonna do is I am going to ask you to get a pen and paper. I need you to write down these 10 emotions, because I'm going to expound for you. These 10 emotions are what you have to learn how to transmute and use to get yourself on the right track. You are stumped. You stumble over these. I stumble over these. Everybody stumble over these. But once they've been revealed to you, you need to take the responsibility, which is what I told you, which is the fifth universal law. You need to take the responsibility to learn these, study them, and recognize them. Put them in your phone, your notes, or whatever. And when you experience certain emotions, go to them and look at what the emotion that you have and what is it signaling. These are what they call signal emotions. Otherwise, I call them as trigger emotion, because when these emotions hit us, they trigger us and they make certain actions come out of us. But what I'm going to do now is I am going to use a bit of what is considered as neuroscience. And one of the people that have taught this neuroscience prior to me coming across the knowledge in the past and was very adept at it was a man named Tony Robbins. All right, and he's a very influential person, and he's someone I still respect to this day, because a lot of what I know, it helped me get through a lot of the rough times in my life when understanding why I was having the type of complications that I was having. Okay, so now let's proceed. Okay. Okay. The first one, okay? And I'm gonna read the first part because I think it would be beneficial from one of Tony Robbins' excerpts. All right. It says, reading this list of action signals won't give you an instant mastery of your emotions. You got to use the distinctions consistently in order to reap their benefits. I suggest that you reread this section several times, underlining the areas that are especially significant for you, and then write down the action signals on a 3x5 card you can carry with you. But in this day and time, everybody's using their notes on their phones, which you can keep on your anywhere. All right. Then it goes on to say, it says, reminding yourself of the meaning of the emotion really has for you and what action you can take to utilize it. Attach one of these little cards to the sun visor in your car, not only so you can review it throughout the day, but so if you get stuck in traffic and begin to boil over in rage, you'll be able to pull out the card and remind yourself of what the positive nature of the messages you are receiving. Okay. Now, I'm going to name them, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to expound on them. So just be prepared. I'm going to need y'all to stay tuned for 3 videos, because this is a lot of information, but it's information that you need, love. You need this information. Everything I done brought to you about how to take control, how to project over your astrological aspects and all that. One thing, you can use that astrology to get some fine-tuned details about yourself. But unless you master these emotions, you trying to deal with your aspects, it's not going to really take you as far as you want to be, okay? So the first one I need you to write down is discomfort. Okay, that's the first emotion. And usually discomfort means either boredom, impatience, uneasiness, distress, or mild embarrassment are all sending you the signal that something is not quite right. All right, within yourself. Okay, fear. Ooh, you really need to get this, man. This is something that has plagued the collective, to which I came to teach you how to get out of this rut. But this one here is really important. Number 2 is fear. Okay. Fearful emotions include anything from low levels of concern, apprehension, and intense worry, anxiety, and fright, and even terror. Fear serves a purpose, and this message is: fear is simply the anticipation that something is going to happen soon and needs to be prepared for. So the trigger word for fear is be prepared. So when you find yourself getting set off into fear, I gave you one trigger word right now. It means be prepared. Even though there's a lot more, but that is just something that is just a small catchphrase that can be associated with that particular emotion, so that when it happens, it gives you time to genuflect and pay attention to what it is meaning and what it is telling you about what are you trying to be prepared for, whether you're just tripping and you don't need to be prepared, but nonetheless, you're acting like it. Okay, let's move on. The next one is hurt. All right. If there's anyone's emotion that seems to dominate human relationships, both personal and professional, it's the emotion of hurt. Feelings of hurt are usually generated by a sense of loss. Okay. But you don't have to write all that down. Just write down the emotion hurt, and now I'm going to tell you what the message is. Now, remind you, I'm just introducing you to the emotions. We're going to come back and I'm going to break each one of them down. Okay. The message behind hurt, all right, is the message of hurt signal gives us is that we have an expectation that has not been met. Did y'all get that? We have an expectation that has not been met. All right, one more time. Hurt means we have an exception that has not been met. All right. So when you feel like you're hurt, you really need to look at whether or not you're really hurt, or somebody just didn't meet your expectations. And if it ain't, that means you need to lower your expectations. That's all that means. Nip that in the bud. You hear me? Okay, let's ride. Now, let's go to the next one. I'm going to have to 8:48. Let me see here. It's 8 minutes. Oh, also my YouTube channel. I'm trying to get a lot of my videos going over to my YouTube channel, because TikTok and IG really kind of leave me down to barely 10 minutes. So in the future, be looking for it. But the rest of these are going to be described in the next video, because this 10 minutes is almost up. Anger. Ooh-wee. Anger. How this hurts us all. Anger. Angry emotions include everything from being mildly irritated to being angry, resentful, furious, or enraged. What is this message? The message that anger is that an important rule that you have, or a standard that you hold for yourself or your life, has been violated, or even by you. Okay? So that means somebody has violated these rules. But before this video gets ready to shut off, you have to think, is the people that